And welcome on this Tuesday, everyone. I'm Storm Team 8 meteorologist Matt Kirkwood, and what we're tracking is something that I don't like to track, at least for the general public. There's some forecasts I don't mind giving. There's some forecasts that I really don't like giving, and one of which is freezing rain, especially when we're not anticipating any snow prior to it. Glaze ice can be very problematic. Here's the latest on the warnings, and it's because of the potential of freezing rain out there that we do have these warnings. Notice how it's kind of oriented northwest to south and east, and I'll show you the radar in just a moment, and you can kind of see why that is. Stagger start times as well. You can see the start time for the watches and the warnings at 7 o'clock. The warnings include Eaton, Ionia, Kent, and Muskegon County beginning at 7 o'clock. Oceana, Newaygo, Montcalm, and Mecosta counties and points north beginning at 4 o'clock. That's because we're expecting our northern counties to be a little bit colder, and we'll see that transition or that mix developing a little bit earlier. Broad view throughout the Midwest. You can see the storm system, which is really way out in western Iowa. That storm is the area of low pressure should pivot to the northeast, then slide southeast across southern lower Michigan, or actually just south of Michigan. That's going to keep the corridor of moisture right over the heart of much of lower Michigan, and that's going to put us in a mix zone as well. Breaking it down for you, 24-hour forecast. Keep your eye on especially areas to the north. At 6 o'clock, expect still most locations generally just rain. The exception would be probably around Big Rapids, right along M20 to Mount Pleasant, where we could see freezing rain and sleet mixture. As temperatures cool after sunset, notice how that freezing mix line drops to the south. You can see it's in the northern Kent County and the Muskegon and also northern Ionia County by midnight. And that's when I certainly think many locations north of Grand Rapids will make that transition over to rain showers to Plano, well, it's the freezing rain and sleet. As we head in the morning hours, that purple continues to migrate to the south, even south of Grand Rapids, likely just north of Hastings up towards the Wayland area over Muskegon, including Grand Rapids. So we certainly could see a period of freezing rain here in the Grand Rapids, but the bulk of it is still going to be to the north and northeast of Grand Rapids. Hopefully we get a little bit of a break by the noon hour and the morning hours tomorrow. And as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon, it looks like cold enough air will take any freezing rain and transition over to some snow. The snow will be fairly light here, about 1 to 2 inches locally, but boy, I tell you what, if you're around Mount Pleasant over to Saginaw, to the northwest up towards Cadillac and Traverse City, Manistee, Reed City, you could easily see in excess of a foot of snow. Here's the ice forecast. We'll take you from 7 o'clock this evening and right on through the time frame. You know, they issue ice storm warnings anytime there's expected amounts of 0.2 of an inch or greater. These totals are pretty impressive. The reason the National Weather Service hasn't issued an ice storm warning is because we're going to see sleet mixing in as well and the possibility of snow. But if this comes to fruition, over 0.3 of an inch in Greenville, 0.6 in Alma, almost a half an inch in Fremont, an inch in Big Rapids, that will be very problematic, especially with the wind picking up dramatically out of the east, sometimes gusting over 30 miles per hour. Here's a look at that Storm Team 8-day forecast. First, I want to break it out. The areas that I expect to really be impacted will be north and northeast of Grand Rapids, 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of ice, certainly possible. And the primary roads affected will be I-96 and points to the north, M20, M46, and M57 in particular. If you live along these areas, make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. Here's the Storm Team 8-day forecast. We'll see that mix transition over to all snow Wednesday. Clearing things out, it looks like Thursday, fairly quick. Just a 30% chance of morning flurries. And then look how cold it remains right on through this upcoming week, going to 30s for highs, lows hovering in the upper teens, lower 20s. These temperatures are consistently around 10 degrees below average, and really even beyond the 8-day forecast, I don't see anything warm, unfortunately, for this first week of spring. Of course, we'll have more details, complicated forecast. Bill Steffen, Laura Velasquez will kick things off again at 5 o'clock, and they'll have the latest. Stay tuned for that.